Hi, Hiram here. Yesterday I did my first boil test on this Folding Firebox Nano. This is the prototype that Steve over at Folding Firebox sent me. What I did was a boil test using the Trangia in here. Well, since then I've gotten a couple of questions, comments, and suggestions, so I thought maybe I'd go over them today and do another boil test. The one question I got was, will the large military Trangia burner fit in here? No, won't fit. Another one was, I had mentioned a couple of times about how I thought my Trangia might need a cleaning. So I've had a couple of people ask me, how do you do that? Do you polish them up or what? I don't polish them. I like the patina. But what I do is, if this is capable of leaving fuel in it, so if you keep just pouring new fuel in on top of the old fuel, after a while it gets a little funky in here. So what I do when it's time to clean them up is I dump the old fuel out, just set it over a container and let it drain. Then I put about maybe, 2 fluid ounces of clean methanol in here, close it up with the gasket in place, swish it around, let it set for a couple of hours like that. Then come back, I swish it around again, and I turn it upside down and let the fuel go down into the jets. Now with the gasket in here, you don't have to worry about it leaking. That's one of the good parts about this. After I've let that set for a while, I open it up and again, drain all the fuel out, put it over top of something and just let it drain out. Then, I don't know if you'll be able to see on this, but you get some corrosion or whatever you want to call it, salts, whatever, building up in the jet holes. So what I do is I just get a piece of wire, either baling wire or copper wire if you have it, some small gauge. Now this is 24 gauge, it's actually a little bit small. I also I got a pile of these Primus pins one time. I thought it would work on my Svea, but it turned out to be too big. So I have a couple of these and I'll use these to poke out the holes. But let's say you just have a piece of baling wire. What I end up doing then is I just go to the holes and make sure it's a piece of wire that's smaller than the holes. You don't want to enlarge these. And I just kind of, I don't know if you can see that, I just kind of poke it around, rubbing on the sides to get whatever might be clogging the hole out of the way. Just kind of like that. Now sometimes, now you probably won't be able to see it, but in this hole there's white there. It's the cotton wicking or whatever they have inside here has kind of gone up into the hole space and blocking it off. So then what I do is try to push it down as far as I can, see, and then it's gone. So that's all I do. I just kind of take the wire and rub it around in the hole and push down whatever lining might be blocking the hole. It seems like that stuff raises up when you have alcohol in here. Yeah, there we go. And that's it. That's all I do. I don't worry about wiping off the patina or anything. Okay, so that's the cleaning. What was the other questions? Oh, AZN9394 said, and a couple of other people said, you got to do a sweet spot test. When I did it on my first test, I just laid the Trangia all the way down onto the shelf, and that made the distance from the top of the burner to the bottom of the pot about 1 3/4 inches, which is about 3/4 of an inch too high. The sweet spot, it seems, for Trangia is about 1 inch off the burner jets. So I was going to do that today. But then FlashGeiger suggested maybe in a pinch on the trail you could use the Trangia lid placed under the burner to raise it to the sweet spot. You may need to remove the O-ring. You have to remove the O-ring. You don't want to expose this to heat because it'll melt it down. It'll really booger it up. So you just take the O-ring out, set this in the bottom of the Nano, this on top then. Now the distance between the jets and the bottom of the pot is about 1 1/4 inches. That's a whole lot closer to the sweet spot. It's still a little bit big, but we'll see what happens today. This is what I'm going to test with this. using FlashGeiger's idea of using the lid to elevate the burner. Also, I was asked, can the simmer ring be used in here? Yes, it fits in. And at the widest, that's about how big you can put it. So that's fairly big for the simmer ring. Normally when I use the simmer ring, it's a much smaller crescent. So that will fit in there too. Let me get my water prepped, get some alcohol in here, and I'll be right back for a test then. See if this getting to the sweet spot makes it work better. Be right back. Okay, my water's at temperature. Let me light the Trangia, get that to a blossom. Okay. I don't know why with the Trangias, it starts off blue, but then it always goes to yellow. Just something about it. Okay. Not quite a full bloom here. Okay, now yesterday's test, 2 cups of water starting at 60 degrees, came to a full boil in 5 minutes 25 seconds. That with it being further down into the stove. So I'm hoping for a little bit better time today. Okay, I got a blossom there. 2 cups of water starting at 60 degrees. And let's see where this goes. We're now 2 minutes into the test. The temperature's up to 114 degrees Fahrenheit. I think that's a little bit higher than what it was yesterday. I think you can see the flames, still the yellow flames, just like on a Trangia, but a nice full pattern on the bottom of the pot. So let's see where it goes from here. There we have 210, 211, 212 in 5 minutes 1 second. Okay. Not as good as I thought it might be, but so that was 2 cups of water starting at 60 degrees, this time moving the Trangia up a little bit, about a half of an inch. It made the distance between the jets to the bottom of the pot at about, what did I say, 1 1/4 inches. And 2 cups starting at 60 degrees came to a boil in 5 minutes 1 second. Yesterday's test was 5 minutes 25 seconds. So we saved about 24 seconds or so. Not too bad. So the sweet spot, you know, it also depends on the stove of what it's going to do. Now I turned these legs parallel to the stove to hold the pot, so they're touching the flames a little bit, which is going to be dragging some of the heat away. But I hope that helps for those that asked for that. Remember about cleaning your jets and your Trangia. Let's see, anything else? I thank AZN9394 for his question about the sweet spot. I thank FlashGeiger for the suggestion of putting the lid underneath the burner. I thank you for watching. Oh, don't forget, I'll leave a link down below to where Steve is having a pre-sale deal. You can get the Nano for $29.99. I think it's going to be $39.99 when it comes out, but he's doing a pre-sale thing. So if you like this, if you're in market for a wooden stove, a wood burning stove that can use other things, you might want to look into this. I don't get a commission off this. But anyway, I thank you for watching. I look forward to your input, questions, remarks, helpful suggestions. And as always, watch for my buddy Max. Bye now.